Hey there, Rednecks, Preppies, Redneck Preppies. It's me, the Redneck Preppy. How you doing today? Great? Good. So the last while I've been mulling over doing a survival kit review. I think the last one was back in 2021. But I have to admit, not with much enthusiasm. They're all made in China. They all have the same stuff from the same slave labor plants. What would be the point? Well, I was surfing the information superhighway recently and came across one that promised to be a bit different. I wasn't sold, so I put it up to the vote on the community tab, and those who responded overwhelmingly said, "Do it." Well, since I apparently hate having money, I listened, and today we are going to look at the Grullin Survival Kit, running a grand total of $49.95 Canadian on Amazon.ca. As usual, I will tear through this thing and see if we got something remotely useful in a survival situation. Anyway, less talk and more rock, and let's get into it. The first thing that disappoints me was I was promised a Grullin patch on the front of this pouch. Right out of the gates, I'm not getting what I was sold. I wanted to rep to the entire world the famous Grullin brand, yo. Alright, anyway, less attempt at humor. Let's open this thing up. Okay, we have two packages in here. Alright, let me unpack all of this stuff, organize it, and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Let's start going through these items individually, and along the way I'm going to put them into three piles: stuff I like, stuff I'm neutral on, and stuff that will end up in the recycling bin. We'll start out with the pouch itself. According to the Amazon listing, this is 1000D nylon.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Yeah, not a chance. If it was, it'd be thicker and relatively stiff. This is like 200 or 300D nylon at best. That said, it's not actually horrible. It opens up quite widely, making stuff, getting at stuff fairly easy, and it is a good size. So I'll probably actually end up reusing this for something else. Okay, next up. Oh, and I'm pleased to report there was a Grullin patch inside, so I get to put this on something and rep to the world. I'm a Grullin homie. Awesome. Okay, first up, what do we got here in this pile? Okay, you get a flashlight. Now, I've actually gotten this exact same flashlight, yoink, in several other survival kits. It's not actually a bad flashlight. It's all metal construction. It uses one AA battery. I don't know if you can tell with the lights on right now. Is that low? That's low. And you got a strobe light. The lights are not doing this any favors, but this is actually a reasonably bright flashlight. So this is actually good. I mean, as far as cheap flashlights go. It's not waterproof or anything to any extent, but for a flashlight, it'll do. So we'll put it in the good pile. Finally, I'm impressed by something. You got your bog standard wire saw. I don't care why. There we go. And yeah, this is pretty anemic. Not much in the way of teeth here. I mean, it'll pinch, it'll do. But this pretty much is the reason why I hate wire saws in general. If you've seen my previous survival kit reviews, you know, I can't imagine that this is going to last very long. And given the small teeth on it, it ain't going to be a pleasure to cut anything other than really small branches. So I'm going to put it in the don't like pile. Normally I'd be in neutral, but I'm in a pissy day today. So coming up next, now we get a very securely wrapped survival bracelet. You've seen these in many survival kits in the past. It's made out of paracord primarily. It's got itself a very cheap button compass, although it is pointing north. That's impressive. And you got a very tiny ferro rod here that you can use to strike with the other end. And I'm not going to strike it here, but take my word for it, it is a ferro rod. But the only thing useful on this, as far as I'm concerned, is that it is, in fact, paracord. Well, maybe not. Actually, this might not even be paracord. This might just be regular cordage. But at least you get some cordage here. You get a marginally useful button compass, which you know I love so much. I'll put it in neutral, although I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not particularly excited by it. Ah, another old friend. I've gotten this in survival kits in the past. It's a whistle. A not particularly loud whistle. Well, I suppose it's loud enough. But like I said, I've seen this in 3 survival kit videos, I think, that I've done already in the past couple years. I'll put it in neutral because it does at least whistle. Give it that much. What do we got here? What do we have here? I'm actually puzzled by this. Oh, it's a multi-storage container. So you can put your medications in it. A note to your loved ones regretting all the choices you made in your life, whatever it may be. 3 compartments. It does have a sort of a gasket on it. I don't know if you can see that on camera. Right there. Oh, okay, this is kind of useful. You can put medications here and all that stuff, so that's kind of good. I mean, you can put them in Ziploc bags, probably even easier, and it would take up less room than this, but it does serve its function. I'm going to put it under neutral because it's not really anything I would consider essential, but yeah, it doesn't offend me. How about that? Everything is wrapped here. I don't know. Wrapped for my protection. Oh, okay. So it's a real ferro rod. Sorry, I'm doing this around the camera. I'm trying not to hit the camera while I'm opening these packages, so that's why I look like a bit of a klutz. You got a reasonably sized ferro rod here. Wait a minute. Is this plastic? Oh, it's a magnesium ferro rod. Oh, okay. I thought this was a plastic shell around the actual ferro, but this is the striker material and this is magnesium. So I've covered my desk now in flammable metal. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, alright, it's alright. I'm not going to hack on it too much. I would have preferred just a standard ferro rod, but a magnesium rod with a striker is just fine too. I wonder if I should... Oh yeah, I shouldn't do that. It did spark, and I don't want to start a fire on my desk. That would be awkward. Alright, so I'll like that, because it does what it's supposed to. Next up, another wrapped package. My word, we're just... What the hell is this? Oh, okay, it's a little clip. I guess you could actually put this on the bag and then clip it to your belt even more so, or on your backpack, whatever. It's got MOLLE attachments. I forgot to mention that on the pouch itself, and I guess this is another way of securing it a little bit better, or you could secure something else, you know, around a cord and then just hang it off you or something like that. And at the end of the day, though, don't like. Doesn't really do much of anything. Oh my god! This one's for Carl Algren. If you don't know who that is, he's a frequent viewer of the videos, and he always makes sure to mention whenever I do a survival kit video, hey man, where was the wallet card? Well, here you go. We have a wallet card here, and it's actually a little bit better than the ones we usually get, because it usually has a whole bunch of nonsense on it. Here you get your standard hex wrench, you get a barely useful saw, knife, serrated edge blade. You get a very dull knife here, standard bottle opener. You got a screw bit here. You got a 1-inch measure in case you want to measure only something that's an inch. You got some cordage here, looks like a couple of feet. That's all right. I'm simultaneously more impressed and less impressed by it because it's still a wallet card. There's still not much you can do about it. Carl, if you want it, I'll send it to you. And I'll send you one of the silver ones too, because I got plenty of those in other kits. Anyway, I'm going to put this under don't like because I hate these wallet cards. As you well know if you've been watching my videos for any length of time. Next up. Alright, I don't have to unpack this one because we know what it is. It's a Mylar blanket, emergency blanket. 130 by 210 centimeters, so it's a little over 1 meter wide and 2 meters long. So that's a reasonable size. They have 160 by 210 as the largest option. So I really should have thrown the largest option there. How much would that have cost? But, I mean, this is actually reasonably sized for a person. I don't know if you could even make, I suppose, a small tent out of it. So there's that. I'm going to put that in the like pile. Actually, something that does what it's supposed to. What else we got? What else we got? Okay. We have one of these cards. The ones with the fishing hooks and the arrowheads and all that other nonsense that you can pull off and use. Yeah, I've seen these. You know, this is the first time I've actually held one of these because, I don't know, I've never really been all too curious about it. Oh, you know what? That hook is actually reasonably sharp. Like pointy. So if you were to catch a fish with one of these, you'd stand a good chance of actually catching them too. You got some other things too here. You got the spear. These are for rope tying. I can't remember exactly how to use them though, but you can put cord through them and, I don't know, turn them into things. So, well, it doesn't take up much room. I would have preferred real fish hooks, to be honest with you. Boy, I really don't. I'm going to put it under neutral because it's okay. And to go along with that, you've got yourself a good hank of what would appear to be monofilament fishing line. Not sure how much there is here. It doesn't say, but it looks like there's quite a bit. So you could go fishing with those hooks. Or use them for other things like sewing if you happen to have a needle. I don't think there's one on this here though. No, there's no needle. So you're kind of out of luck. Or is that? I suppose that's a needle. That could be a needle right there. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so you got a good hank of fishing line with it. I'm almost tempted to upgrade this now, because usually you don't get food provisions in a survival kit, especially Chinese-made ones. Like, I'm still going to put it under neutral. I would have preferred real fishing hooks. Remember, these are my own judgments. If you like them, that's great. I'm not going to judge. What else we got here? It's in a pouch and wrapped. Oh my word. Is this the star of the show? You get a little multi-tool, like a little Leatherman's squirt, I think they're called. Well, it's actually, wow, it's substantially built. I mean, this is not cheap. Does it bend in though when you put pressure in? Oh, a little bit. I'm pretty sure I could break these if I... Oh no, actually, I don't even know if I could. This isn't bad. I mean, the plier part anyway. What else do you get? You got yourself a very little saw blade. They're not making this easy to take out, are they? So you got one of these, and one of those. You get... Well, every survival kit needs a bottle opener. And you got a little saw knife here. I'm not sure what the hell you would do with that. Hope there's a real knife on this, because I don't see a real knife here anywhere. You get a little screwdriver, a little file, which isn't all that impressive unless you want to do your nails. And here's the actual knife. Whoa, that is small. That would be about 1.25 inches, I think. Yeah, that's not impressive, man. Is it sharp at least? Well, I mean, it's got an edge. Wow. This is your knife for the kit. That's what you're working with. An 1.5-inch blade on potentially dodgy pliers, because it's not like this is a name brand. This is a knockoff. That said, I'm going to put it under neutral because I'm disappointed I actually didn't get a knife here, because I'm looking at the rest of this stuff and there is no knife. So that kind of sucks. Alright, well, there's a pile of stuff here, and it's all the medical stuff, because you get quite a bit of medical stuff here. You got yourself a triangular bandage. Okay, well, that's kind of useful, sure. You got PBT bandage. I'm presuming that means gauze or something. You got some rubber gloves. Or not rubber gloves, sorry, those, those gloves that people put on when they're about to do something medically. I cannot remember what they're called for the life of me. You got some alcohol prep pads, 5 by 5 centimeters, to fly. If there's anything that builds confidence in your medical supplies is when they misspell words on them. And you got a fair bit amount here. And that's how they pad these kits. I mean, they throw cheap medical stuff in here, like Band-Aids. You got a pile of Band-Aids here, which, I mean, is not horrible to have, but whenever you see those kits, 96-piece item, you're guaranteed like 40 of them are going to be Band-Aids. You got cotton wool ball, 10 pieces. Oh, so cotton balls. Well, okay, that's useful. What's this? Oh, is this a tourniquet? Yeah. Interesting choice. You don't see a tourniquet usually in survival kits. Hell, most first aid kits you don't see a tourniquet either. Wow. And this is as cheap as it looks on camera. If it doesn't look cheap on camera, I can assure you this is in fact cheap. Yeah. Let me give you a piece of advice when it comes to tourniquets. 1, buy a good one. 2, get training on how to use them. Because a lot of people use these and they seriously screw up the person that they're using them on because they don't know how to apply them properly. And as for this one, eek. This is awful. I wouldn't even like repurpose this for my first aid kit that I keep in my truck. I mean, maybe it works. It could very well work just fine, but wow, this is dodgy. Boy, it's hard to hate on medical supplies being included in a survival kit. I don't want to put under neutral, but I'm not really all that impressed by it. There's almost like too much. There's no antibiotics, or anything like that. It's just, here's some bandages. Enjoy. I don't know. I'm going to put it under neutral because it's nice to have. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I'm just not impressed by this offering. Maybe I'm being too harsh. Like I said, I'm in a pissy mood today. All right, we'll throw this away. Okay, well, here is the undisputed star of the show. Off camera, I was looking at what the heck this other package was. And it's a water filter straw. It says its flow rate is 0.5 liter a minute. That's not a lot, so I'm presuming that you have to suck water through this thing. It is a straw, after all. And it says it can remove 99.9999% of waterborne contaminants removed. I don't know if you can see that there with the lights. And it removes 99.9% of waterborne protozoa. So you can connect a bottle to it, connect a water bag, you can put on an extension pipe. Alright, well, I want to actually see what this is, because curiosity has got a hold of me. Because somehow this seems too good to be true, and a $50 survival kit from China. Well, there's a lot of stuff in here. Okay, so you get a plastic water bag with a carabiner on it. Oh, that's kind of useful. I'm not going to knock that. And here's the lid for it. Okay. You got a plunger. Presumably to clear out the water straw through a back flush. That's interesting. I don't mind that. You got some instructions, but who needs it? Here's your extension straw. Oh my god, this is just like, oh my god. Grullin, life necessary. Well, I would agree with that. Life is very necessary. Does this look familiar to you? It should. Let me just reach over here and get something. Does it look like a life straw? Because it looks exactly like a life straw. More or less. There's some minor aesthetic differences here. This end piece is a little different, but it serves the same function. The top kind of basically looks the same color. Boy, do you think they did this deliberately? To make you think, hey, this is as good as a life straw? Because this costs $30 by itself in Canada. This was part of a $49.95 survival kit. So, I don't know. Would you trust your existence to a Grullin branded knockoff of a life straw? I think it's actually even a little bit bigger than life straw too in terms of diameter. No, I think they're about this. No, it is. It's a little bit bigger. So inside is probably not exactly the same as a life straw, which, you know, is a high quality, recognized water filtration system. Who knows what we've got in here? Wow. Yeah, wow, man. Like, I don't even know how to grade this. Like, do I give this a passing grade because it's a water filtration system in a survival kit? And usually at best you'll get like aqua tabs, or, you know, those pills that, you know, are chlorine pills essentially. I don't know, I feel like if I put this in do not like, I'm being unnecessarily judgmental and harsh on it, but at the same time, I can't take seriously a product which deliberately apes the look of another product in terms of its color, its aesthetics, and everything. It's almost like you're asking for trouble with this. I'm going to put it in do not like. Yeah, I don't trust this. Like the plastic bag, you know, whatever. I'll throw it over there. Sure, whatever. The straw, yeah. Ooh, yay, straws. It's not paper, yay. But I don't know. I honestly don't trust this. It just seems dodgy to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm being judgmental, but, you know, that's just how I roll. Well, that was something. I guess it's going to be time to pass final judgment of this mess. So if you go with the 4 basics of survival, shelter, water, food, and fire, you'd think that this kit actually addresses them all adequately. You got your emergency blanket here for some shelter, you know, plus the wire saw for the opportunity to perhaps build something a little more substantial. You know, the water straw and container and that stuff take care of the water aspect. You could conceivably catch fish, you know, with this stuff. So you got your food taken care of. The ferro rod, you know, you got your fire. You know, I wish you had more than one emergency blanket, but you could add another one, I suppose, and some cordage to rig one as a small tent. I'm going to be honest with you, I'm a little dubious as to the utility of these fishing hooks, although I'm sure that you could catch something with them. You know, maybe this summer I'll actually do a video seeing, can I catch fish with these hooks? That'll be interesting. Ferro rod just works fine, though. I think storm matches and a lighter will probably make your life easier. This water straw, though, is the true wild card. I don't trust it, man. I've never seen a Chinese knockoff of an established and respected product that worked anywhere near as well as the real thing. You know, it could be that if I cracked, you know, these two open, that they're identical, and the Chinese one happened to fall off the back of a truck or was made after hours in the same plant, rebanded and thrown into this kit. Short, though, of getting a lab to test the water, I don't know. And I don't want to find out when I need this that it's filled with, like, sawdust and rusty nails as filters. The rest of the stuff is hit or miss too. I mean, stuff like this flashlight is decent. Some of these medical supplies, which again I think might actually be too much for this kit, are okay. Though, again, make sure to get training before you use the tourniquet, wherever the hell I've thrown it off to. The rest of this, though, is just mid to low tier mass-produced garbage that you can find in a lot of cheap Chinese survival kits. I really wish they had taken much of this stuff and put the money, such as it is, into fewer but more useful items. A knife. Even a low-end knife would have been useful. I got this I got several of these in other Chinese survival kits in the past. You might think, oh wow, a locking knife. It's got, see, it doesn't even lock. That's how bad this knife is. It is sharp though, and it's like, what, maybe a 3-inch blade? 2.5 inch, let's say. But I mean, even this horrible knife would have been more useful than the knife that you get in, this. And some cordage. I mean, outside of what you got on Carl Olgren's future survival card, this is the only cordage that you're really getting in this entire kit. As I'm fond of saying, take care of the basics first, do them well, and then build out from there. Once you adequately and really do a good job of taking care of those 4 basics of survival I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, then you can branch out and start including some stuff here. So would I recommend this? No. You can actually do the 4 basics cheaper and better, and then add a few items that might all in total cheaper than or equal to $50. And I know pre-made survival kits are always going to be a little more expensive than what you can do on your own, because they're building for a cost. But nonetheless, you can honestly do better here. So save your money. It's been gone a while from these videos, but the 3-thumb rating scale is back, and I'm giving this 1 thumb out of 3. Pretend this is a thumb. So 1 thumb out of 3. And that's only because I don't have a 2/3 of a thumb graphic to use instead. At any rate, I hope you found today's video to be vaguely entertaining and mildly informative. As always, I hope you're prepared every time you go into parts unknown, and you never need to take advantage of that preparedness or have to use this. Take care, and bye-bye.